Okay, sorry guys for the late upload. A little bit of a scheduling conflict. I had to fill in yesterday for Ensign Carlito. You know, he was a little bit drunk, so I had to pick up his third shift, doing a little bit of the old drinking with the bottles and whatnot. So, you know how it is. You know how it be. This is Lieutenant Mark, back from the bridge of the U.S.S. Dingwall, and I just checked out Cupid's Errant Arrow, which I guess is the 5th episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. And I'm just going to be upfront with you. This is a 6.5er. Didn't like it as much as the one before this, or the one before that. I put this around the same as the second episode, or the same as the first episode for me. So we're just going to dive right into the summary. Vancouver and Cerritos are in orbit around Mixtus 3 to assist in the detonation of an unstable moon, which look really cool. This episode had a lot of cool graphical design in it. Diplomatic problems complicate the issue because all the inhabitants have a different idea of how to proceed with this. Understandable. I mean, I've seen it in Earth history. I'm sure you've seen it. But let's continue. Boimler's girlfriend is on the Vancouver. This perplexes Mariner, and Mariner deems Boimler to be unlovable somehow, which is kind of sad, but it'll make sense later. Rutherford and Tendi B-plot, again, has nothing to do with anything else. They compete with each other to impress the engineer on the Vancouver, only to realize that they're being groomed for a transfer to the Vancouver, which is a good idea. Vancouver's a cool ship. I saw it. I loved it. I'd transfer from the Dingwall to that. So in retaliation for this, they steal a bunch of T-88 hand scanners by blackmailing the engineer on the Vancouver. Which, guys, that's theft. Number one, that's theft. Number two, you had to blackmail somebody to get it. And number three, how come you can't get that gear on the Cerritos? I don't understand it. The gear we have here on the Dingwall is, practically as good as what's on the Enterprise. We just get beamed the schematics and we replicate what we need here. Hello? A series of gags and mishaps leads Mariner to believe that Boimler does not actually have Barb as his girlfriend just because Boimler is cool. He's not cool. But by the fact that Boimler is in love with a monster and that Barb is a monster, but really, sight gag after sight gag, various things happen in the A plot. Mariner finds out that, Barb is attracted to the cookie that is in Patrick's pocket. Not really, that's SpongeBob. But what actually happens is that Barb is attracted to the parasite that is on the back of Boimler's head. Oh my god. And this parasite, I guess, multiplies by making its host irresistible to the opposite sex. Not sure how that works. Not sure why it only worked for Barb and not for every other female on the Cerritos. It only worked for Barb, who was on the Vancouver. So, yeah, I don't know why. But then at the end, the Cerritos blows up the moon anyway. They blow up the dangerous rogue moon orbiting Mixtus 3, and that kind of saves the day. So, there's my summary. Let's get into what I noticed. This episode doesn't seem to have a teaser before the intro. It just goes straight to the intro, which is odd. I mean, I didn't really mind it, but it was strange. The Vancouver is a Parliament-class ship, which to me looked fantastic. There's a lot of cringe lines in this episode. There was some cringe. There was a lot to love. There was a lot to hate in this episode, but there was some cringe. At one point, Mariner mentioned some line that someone or her, something, I forget what it was hopped up like Q on Captain Picard Day. That's awful. These lines are awful. Stop it with the name drops. There was a few times in this episode where there was just an explosion of name drops. Way too much. My brain was exploding. This show is too concerned with making you believe that it's Star Trek, when all they had to do to make me believe that it's real Star Trek was get rid of the cursing. Boimler's first name is Bradward, not Bradley, which is hilarious. When Boimler was going to the Vancouver with gifts for his girlfriend, one of them was a Geordie LaForge style bear. It was a teddy bear with a visor, which I gotta get one of those because I can't see, so I'm gonna have to check out a visor soon. You know, kind of like one that fits more in keeping with my timeline here. You know, I might have to get a big old chunky one that can't be removed. Why can't they just replicate T-88s? What is going on with this show and not understanding that replicators make tools? Like, I don't understand why they feel the need to steal a T-88 hand scanner, or they feel the need to get one of those, to have to ask for a tricorder with a purple stripe. Like, why? Why is that a thing? It's just a tool. Again, more name drops. They name dropped Kirk. They name dropped Trip Tucker. I remember Trip. I know about him, and I can look him up in the computers here, but I have no idea what she's referring to by Picard. There's lots of canon-looking ships everywhere and designs everywhere. I mean, Mariner has a flashback to what I think was an Olympus-class ship I saw, and I think I saw it at Deep Space Nine, which I don't know what those things are, but they looked pretty canon. Why is Tendi acting like an engineer in this B-plot? Like, what is going on here? Why is Tendi following Rutherford around and copying his work? Isn't Tendi a doctor? I don't understand. Rutherford and Tendi's B-plot was boring again anyway, so we can just forget about them, I guess. The writers seem to be. They name-drop Suliban, which I know what they are. We're briefed on that. The funniest moment of this episode by far is when Boimler is trying to impress Barb, and he gets this cool get-up on based on all the coolest people in history. And he goes to the replicator, and he asks for beer, big, hot. And then he goes, whoa, 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 whoops. I mean cold. That was hilarious. Just because he was so hopped up seeing Barb, he accidentally asked for hot beer, which is hilarious. I mean, hey, we've all done it. We've all gone to the replicator and asked for, ice cold tomato soup or, boiling hot milk. I've done it. I've gotten a boiling hot Coca-Cola once. Although it wasn't a Coca-Cola. It was just a cola. And again, in this episode, we had the stupid Alex Kirkland spacewalking, where some character had to, get out of the spaceship and, friggin' angle their jump and then just do a straight jump onto another floating object. I really am getting tired of that. It's been in every Alex Kirkland production. It's in every Kirkland joint at this point, and I'm getting mighty tired of it. So, on one last note, I thought it was odd that Mariner decides to blow up the moon when she finds out that this person who is protesting against the destruction of the moon, his civilization is just two people, and they own the moon, and it's theirs, but Mariner destroys it anyway? Is she going to get reprimanded for that? For destroying his property? You wouldn't catch me doing that. And it seems odd that somebody on another ship could force a transfer. I'm not aware of that ever happening before. I mean, I've never seen it here. Like, if we meet another ship, they cannot force me to transfer onto their ship. It doesn't work like that. You can't force me to do anything I don't want to do. I can quit. And you can't force people onto a different ship. That's very strange to me. You can suggest it. You can strongly imply that someone should do it. You can make it worth their while. But it seems odd that you can just straight up force someone to have a transfer. Yeah. I'm going to call shenanigans on that one. That's shenanery. Okay? So overall, this is a 6.5. Pretty good. Like I said, a lot to love, a lot to hate. I'll be watching again next time, though. Mark out.